This is EUI, a desktop robot that helps you focus on your work and get proper rest during your workday. EUI contains 8 LEDs for the light subsystem. There is a piezo buzzer for the sound subsystem, an OLED screen for the display subsystem, a distance sensor and 2 motors for the edge detection and movement subsystems. EUI also wraps these subsystems together to create the alarm subsystem. Finally, there are 2 buttons to interact with EUI and change the state EUI is in. Ideally, EUI will be able to move in circles on your desk using an external power supply while detecting edges, blaring sounds, flaring lights, and displaying the end of your Pomodoro session on the OLED screen. However, due to time constraints, the following demo of EUI will only contain the sound subsystem, the light subsystem, and the display subsystem. One of our personas, Charles Faust, will demonstrate how to use EUI. Charles Faust is a 40-year-old law firm manager who enjoys work, but also feels drained after work. He works long hours at the company and rarely takes breaks between meetings and his busy work schedule. He is overweight, sitting and eating at his desk all day, but also can't find the motivation or energy to exercise after work. His goal is to take more breaks throughout the day to avoid burnout and change his unhealthy lifestyle to include physical breaks or exercise, even if it just is a few minutes during his day. So, to begin, Charles goes to the EUI webpage to register his account and personalize the alarm settings. He first adds his name and saves it. Then he goes to the Pomodoro at the top and then configures the Pomodoro timer. Since Charles wants to take more breaks but also not sacrifice the quality of his work, he enters 50 minutes, a time period long enough for him to get into deep work but not too long such that it is hard to replicate again. Charles then enters 20 minutes for the rest period, wanting to take breaks but not too long of a break. Then he configures the accountability settings, but again, due to time constraints, this will not show on the OLED screen. He then goes to alerts and configures those. Charles then goes into statistics, where he sees an exam statistic week showing the number of consecutive Pomodoros a user has completed during that week and certain accomplishments on the bottom, such as the highest EUI streak this week and the highest Pomodoro streak in a day. Users can contact the EUI team at eui@eui.com. Finally, you can go back to home to change your name if you so choose to. To start the hardware, after powering EUI on, we wait for Charles to start the Pomodoro by pressing the Pomodoro session button or the blue button. But first, to power it on, that was the startup. And now it says this says startup. Now we press the blue button to start the Pomodoro. Alright, the Pomodoro work session starts, and now we wait. That was the work session alarm, and indicating the end of the work session. Now we press the Pomodoro signal button again for the rest session. And now we wait. The rest session ends and then the alarm goes off. So then the user has completed one full Pomodoro session. Charles wants to continue working, so he presses the blue button again. But 5 minutes later, he receives a notice of an important meeting, so he presses the red button. EUI logs the amount of consecutive Pomodoro sessions you have completed and then waits for your turn. After one important meeting later, Charles wants to start working again, so he presses the blue Pomodoro session and begins working. And that's how you use EUI.